Hi, I'm Dennis, and welcome to the Simple Nuremberg Box project. This video will just give you a quick overview of the entire project, and if you want to watch every step of the process, you can go to my channel page and click on the playlist that's titled the Nuremberg Box Project. A Nuremberg box is a metal box that has an intricate lock built into the lid. These boxes were made in a range of sizes, and the smaller ones like this one were usually more of a novelty piece and were highly decorated. They were used mainly to keep jewelry and things of that nature safe within a household. The larger versions were actually the world's first form of security box. They were very, very heavy and had extremely elaborate lock mechanisms built into the lid, so they were portable enough to be boarded onto a ship or hauled around in a heavy wagon, but they certainly weren't anything that you could just pick up and run away with. So for this box, I'm going to be building a very simple form of this lock mechanism. It still has all of the parts and the levers and the springs that are common in any of these locks, but it's just pared down to its bare essentials. The parts for this lock get assembled in a variety of ways. For some of the pieces, I'll be rough forging a basic shape and, getting the form about 90% of the way there. And then I'll be moving over to the bench and using files to refine that shape further. To get the final shape that I want, I may need to braise several different pieces together in the fire. This was a very common way of joining separate pieces of metal that would not be able to withstand the forge welding process. And then once I have everything joined together, I'll be able to use this primitive form of milling machine to further refine the overall shape. I use cold chisels to remove as much material as I can because I can make cold chisels and sharpen cold chisels in my shop. I reserve files for just the final finishing when I need to make a perfectly smooth surface that's very difficult to do with a chisel. And then one by one, using one of these processes, all the pieces start coming together into a basic lock mechanism. And it might surprise you to know that this lock mechanism was built with a basic idea of how the lock mechanism worked, but I didn't use any drawings or any form of plans to measure out any of the parts. I started out by building the part that I felt was the main component of the lock, and then every other part within the lock got related back to that one piece. So even though this lock mechanism is a little bit elaborate, it's basically just a bunch of individual pieces that are all connected together. And it's really a pretty simple and straightforward process. You build two pieces, make sure that they fit and work together, and then you add a third piece to the mix and make sure that it works with the first two that you build, and then you just keep on going until you eventually have the whole mechanism built. And the thing that a lot of people find surprising is that you really have no idea what any of the measurements are. You just make sure that the one piece fits with the one that it's supposed to be fitting up against. It's a system that's based on building custom parts for every job because there was no standard unit of measurement at this time, and even if there was no way of measuring anything accurately at this time. So trial and error was basically all you had to work with. The technology that built this lock mechanism came as the culmination of hundreds of years of work by locksmiths and gunsmiths and clockmakers who were all striving to improve the forging process to a point where they can build parts that were precise enough and accurate enough to work in a smooth running machine. Hi, I'm Dennis, and thanks for watching. If you have questions and you want to contact me directly, you can do so by emailing me at either one of the addresses that I have listed here. It may take me a couple of days, but I will get back to you. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.